One. Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast. Caden and Leo here. Caden, how you doing?
Doing great. We got another double episode for you guys today.
Love the double episodes. We're going to keep firing them off at you guys. Today we are talking NBA and kind of our preseason episode that we did for the NFL, this time for the NBA.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. We're going to talk about, maybe our MVP picks, finals picks, and then we're going to do the stock market just like the NFL.
Most definitely.
But first, we got to talk about our team, our home team, the Denver Nuggets.
Caden, the Denver Nuggets went out and got the big free agent acquisition, Russell Westbrook, this offseason.
Right, well, their one move.
That was their big offseason move, and really the only, I guess, notable change I would say
losing KCP is
okay.
big.
Well, yes, addition. I'm talking about notable addition.
Oh, addition, yeah.
Notable addition, right? KCP is going to hurt. I think that loss is going to hurt. However, we need Russell Westbrook to come in his reserve role off the bench.
Yep.
Come in and have impactful minutes. If he comes in and gives those veteran minutes, Caden, where we can control the offense and stay consistent while Jokic and Murray are out resting, that is going to be what this team needs to make a deep playoff run.
Yeah, I remember at the time seeing reports, Westbrook is not the KCP replacement.
No.
They are two very different guys, very different positions. Westbrook's going to come in and be that backup point guard.
Yes.
Christian Brown now slides up into that starting role, which I'm excited to see.
Yes.
His development has looked great. He's great defensively. Mm-hmm. As long as he can find that three-ball stroke a little bit more, shoot maybe at least a 36% up there.
More points.
As he can just get the volume up and especially efficiency from the three-point range, he'll be a good slide into that role. Westbrook, he's that veteran presence on the bench. He'll be able to not have Jamal on as much, especially, with the way his knee is. He's got some injuries. You'll hopefully be able to have Jokic rest a little more, especially you have Dario Saric now in on that bench, which is another big veteran presence who can also pass the ball.
Yes, he can.
And you got Russ, who you're not expecting much out of him. You just hope in those minutes he gets off the bench, he's able to contribute to the team, make some shots, find some lane stuff for passing and everything. And you need development out of the young guys. It sucks that Drawn Holmes tore his Achilles, right away in the preseason. He was looking good, especially in the start.
So unfortunate.
He was going to be a great backup center too. It would have been like Sarge and him in that 4 or 5. Now this year, you hope off the bench, you see improvement out of Zeke Naji. You need him to do a lot. He had a really bad year last year, especially after just signing that 4-year extension. You need to see improvement in Julian Strawther going into the second year, which he showed flashes last year. He's able to shoot the lights out from 3 when he's feeling it.
When he's hot.
When he's hot, he is lights out from 3. He will shoot from anywhere and just drill it. You hope he stays more at least towards hot than cold throughout the season. If we can get him around a 38-ish 3-point percentage shooter, also coming off the bench, averaging 10, 11 a game off the bench, it'll be. I know I might be asking for a lot. Points, kid. I mean, if we can get 8 a game out of him, because he's gonna be playing a good bit. He's the backup to Christian Brown.
Yep,
he'll be playing a good bit. If I can get 8 out of him shooting, I would hopefully like to see him shoot 4 or 5 threes a game, because that's what you're there for.
Yeah, what you're there for.
I hope. I like the Nuggets here. It'll be interesting to see because obviously you saw them at that brutal collapse in the playoffs last year against the Timberwolves. How are they going to rebound off that? Obviously, we probably won't see them try to fight for the 1 seed like they did last year. Hopefully, Jokic. I saw this tweet a couple months ago. I think it might have been Harrison Wind or something. If Jokic only plays about 65 games, meets the requirement for awards and stuff, for All-NBA team and all that, and then he doesn't have to play that much after. If you've already locked up a top 3-ish seed, and you can just rest Jokic towards that, that's the ideal spot for them going into the playoffs.
And that's the problem, Caden. The Nuggets have kind of limped into the playoffs. Yeah. When they've lost, right? Mm-hmm. That only time they really didn't was the championship season when they were actually healthy.
If they don't let Wemby put up 18 points in 3 minutes, they have the 1 seed, and they have home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. They wouldn't have had to play the T-Wolves until the Western Conference because I think they get through the Thunder relatively easy. Yeah. And I think instead we have that T-Wolves Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals, which I think that's just a little different of an energy, different of a feeling than just in the second round.
Yes. A lot of things changed this year. Gonna be a different year as it is always in the NBA. But let's kind of talk about what we think is going to happen and kind of predict some of the end of the season stuff now, Caden.
Yeah. Start, we're going to go off saying kind of our favorites-ish for MVP this year.
Yes.
I know we're Nuggets fans, and Jokic has the second best odds right now, according to DraftKings. He's plus 400. Voter fatigue is a real thing.
It is, 100%.
And he's won 3 out of the last 4 years.
He's not winning this year.
I love Jokic, and hopefully, though, if he only plays about 65 games, they're not going to get to him. if the Nuggets season works how I hope for it to be,
wanted to.
he's only going to play 65 to 70 games, and they probably won't get to him. I don't want to see it where Jokic plays 81 games, 82 games, and then wins another MVP. I'd rather him play 65, finish third or fourth in the MVP voting, and be fully rested going into the playoffs. So that being said, like players I think have a really good shot at MVP this year. Luka is the favorite, and I think deservedly so.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like the perfect time for his year.
I think so. Having the confidence, coming off that last finals appearance, with the momentum, another offseason with Kyrie Irving to get right. I think the Mavs are a team that are poised to be explosive and dangerous, kid.
Yeah, the Mavs obviously, Luka's not going to bring you anything defensively, but he's going to average probably about 30 points a game, 8 rebounds. Well, probably 7, 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
Then another 7, 8 assists on top of that. He can score at will. He can facilitate. He can grab the boards. This is looking like a great season, especially for Luka to finally capture that MVP. Another guy, though, that I really like, also, though, in the Western Conference, which sucks for the Nuggets. The Western Conference is so much better than the Eastern Conference.
Caden.
You have the Oklahoma City Thunder, and their number one, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He was incredible last year. Also finished top 3 in MVP voting. If the Thunder, especially, you'll have another season of Chet Holmgren. J-Dub's going to keep progressing. All sorts of that. And now you have Alex Caruso also off the bench, which is just going to help the Thunder even more. This is a great year. I think Shai and Luka will probably be the main two in my eyes, battling for the MVP throughout the year. Shai will probably be able to average another 30 to 32 points. Somehow with only making maybe 1 or 2 3-pointers. He's disgusting at the mid-range. It'll be, in my eyes, it's between those two. You have the Luka and the Shai.
I agree, Caden. I think the problem is the Thunder, I just don't see them finishing high enough in the final West standings for Shai to be able to earn that MVP. So that's why I'm thinking it's going to go more towards Luka, just based on how those teams finish out. Not saying Shai doesn't have the talent or the ability to be that MVP. I think that if it's close, it's going to come down to where those teams finish in the standings.
Okay, hey, you also, though, we're talking about a little bit of a sleeper earlier. The dude out of Minnesota.
Anthony Edwards, right? I think this is definitely an underrated take for who could sneak into that MVP conversation.
And at plus 1,200, he might be worth a little bit of a sprinkle.
Not only that, we know the favoritism the media has for Anthony Edwards. That's a real thing, right?
It's a huge thing.
Biases are real. I think if the Timberwolves, finish top 4, if the Timberwolves finish top 4 and his numbers co-align up there, with Luka's and Shai's, I don't see a reason why Anthony Edwards wouldn't deserve that MVP.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see, especially with, how much the media absolutely loves him, every little thing he does.
Yes.
See it all over social media,
100%.
all over everything. It's going to be interesting, though. They have a new team. No more Karl Anthony Towns as your center. You're now bringing Julius Randle from the Knicks. You have Dante DiVincenzo, who is able to shoot lights out from 3. You saw him last year with the Knicks, just looking incredible for those last couple months of the year. Those alone might make it so Ant doesn't have to be as aggressive offensively. He'll be able to – his point production might go down a little bit, but I can see his assist numbers coming up.
I was going to say,
dishing it to Randall in the block, dishing it to DiVincenzo in the corner.
And have those players actually make the shots, too.
Yeah, exactly. And, obviously, you'll have veteran Mike Conley still at point guard who – he'll make shots, he'll facilitate and do everything. It's Mike Conley, great. Just all-around great basketball guy.
For sure. So, Caden, one thing we did – our stock up and down. What player are you high on coming into the season?
One player that I think should be able to take a leap this year, I think will help their team a lot, is, it's tough. There's a lot of guys who I think can make this big improvement. And I'm not trying to, there's players who I think will make a big improvement, but they're on bad teams. So I don't want to, they're not going to make the playoffs. I don't think it'll be too good for them. I think they were a playoff team last year.
Just get it off your heart.
I'm trying to think exactly who I like. See, I'm leaning more towards an Eastern Conference player now. I think it'll come down to not those top seeds between the Knicks, who a lot of people are saying will be up there, the Bucks, Sixers, depending on Joel Embiid's health. Paul George is already sidelined.
Yeah.
But I think when you look kind of towards maybe the Magic or the Cavs, I think Paolo Banchero on the Magic. I think he will finally take that leap. Obviously he was an all-star last year.
Into the top
into the upper tier of that top 15, 12 player in basketball. I think while I don't really think he's going to win MVP by any means, I don't think the team as a whole is going to be good enough. I think Paolo Banchero is going to really take that leap, be able to be a lot more efficient with the basketball, be able to still play really good defense, and probably average. I think he could definitely average around a double-double this year.
I don't disagree with you, Caden. A really solid pick. I'm honestly pretty high with you on that one. Now, the person I'm going to be high on, or let me rephrase, say, going to have good improvement. It's going to be someone who hasn't played in multiple years, Caden.
Lonzo?
Making a return into basketball. Lonzo Ball. I just have a feeling, Caden, that he's spent the time off rehabbing those injuries. We know how jacked up that guy's been, right? I think the time off is going to be beneficial. Not only that, I think he's going to be hungry, Caden. I think spending that time away from the game is going to cause a fire, and I expect him to have his best NBA season this year.
Okay, I mean, that's definitely a bold take.
It's a bold
take after missing like 3 years.
Yeah.
It would be very exciting to see him come back from this gruesome injury that, I mean, as an Avs fan, I really hope Landis Scott will be able to come back from at some point because it's the same injury.
Yeah.
It seems impossible to come back. So I'm not going to say it'd be really cool to see him have one of the better years of his career, especially after all this break. What's a team you're high on going into this year?
Caden, I mean, it's kind of hard not to just go with the teams that we already know are going to be good. I think the NBA is, this year at least, there's not going to be any question marks or someone that's going to pop up out of the blue. Caden. I think the teams that are at the top are going to be the teams that finish at the top. And I'm going to just go ahead and say that I'm high on the Denver Nuggets, Caden. I guess, should we say finals predictions now?
I mean, if you can, if you want.
I'll go ahead and say that the Nuggets, I think, make it back to the finals this year. And on the East side, I have the returning champions meeting to face them, the Boston Celtics, Caden.
Which, if that happens, which I would love to see, especially as Nuggets, I think that would be probably one of the best finals we've seen in recent memory.
It has the makings to be very electric.
See, a team I'm high on this year is not a team I think will make like a deep playoff run by any means. I think they might be a play-in team, maybe grab that 7-8 seed or something like that. I like the Spurs.
Oh,
I think adding Chris Paul as that veteran point guard who's able to facilitate the ball really well, make it so Jeremy Sohan isn't your point guard.
Jeez.
It should be really good for Wemby's development, who, according to Shams, has put on 15 to 20 pounds of just muscle this year. So that's scary. He still has the bounce.
I was going to say, if that is true, Caden, that is a legitimate bulk up.
Yeah, and you still have, obviously Wemby. You know he's insane. You still have him all-NBA, DPOY, MVP caliber player center. If Chris Paul can stay healthy, that's great for them. He'll be able to facilitate, probably get 11. I can see Chris Paul like 11 assists a game. And
that would not be a shock to me.
As long as like Devin Vassell, if he can still look like he did, especially in the second half of last year, the way he was able to score, you still have Zach Collins as your power forward, and if he can stay healthy and perform more like we've seen, I know he had a little bit of a down year last year, but if we can stay more like what we'd seen the year prior with Zach Collins, that'd be great. And Jeremy Sohan, get him off a point guard, and I think that helps your game a lot. He's a good rebounder, a good defender. You don't really need him to do you don't need him to run your offense.
Yeah.
I think the Spurs especially, I like them to be in that like 7 to 10 seed range, probably make a play-in, maybe win the play-in, but then lose early in the playoffs.
Not bad, Caden. Wrapping it up, tell us, who do you think is going to be in the finals this year?
In the finals, I would love to see I think the winner is going to come from the West this year.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the Nuggets do it. I think the Thunder are a really good team.
You like the Thunder.
They're a really good team.
I don't trust
and their
them.
defense is really good with Chet, Shea, everything.
Yeah.
A little sleeper I think maybe could surprise people in the West is the Memphis Grizzlies. Getting Ja Morant back from injury. If you get a full year of Ja, you still have Jaren Jackson Jr. They're a really well-rounded team. Desmond Bane is really good as your two. They could be a sneaky team in the West, I would think.
All right, so what's your prediction? Give it.
My heart says the best finals in my eyes is Nuggets Celtics. I think that would be the best possible outcome for the NBA, ratings-wise, views-wise, money-wise, everything. And I want to see Jokic raise another banner.
So, politician, who are you picking?
Politician, give me the Nuggets and the Celtics.
I love it. We're on the same page.
Okay, though. Now to end on a little bit of a down note, though. This is the stock market. Who is a player that you think is trending down this year?
Caden. I'm going to go with the very bold. Very bold.
Oh.
Very bold. I think a player that's going to trend down this year is Kevin Durant. I'm going to go ahead and say I just think with the Suns, they're going to be a team that has a lot of expectation again. And I don't see them living up to those expectations.
I would agree with you.
I don't think they're making it to the Western Conference Finals. And I'm going to say I think regardless not of KD's, like, I think his stats are going to take a step down. Like, I'm not saying he's going to fall off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
He's not. I still think he's going to be a top 15 player. I just don't see him being that super X factor that we've known for him to be.
Yeah, while I don't really think Kevin Durant's going to have that big of a fall, the Suns, though, are my team, though, that I think are trending down.
I agree.
They're my team for the lower part of the stock market here. I think, you have the really high expectation. Beal, Booker, Durant. They're supposed to be this great trio. You didn't see it last year, and I don't really expect to see it this year.
I don't trust them. Good.
I don't trust them. Like, yes, you have Kevin. Like, individually, individually, three really good players. For some reason, when they're all on the court together, like you'll have those times when it's like just Durant and Booker when Beal's injured and they look great. Or you'll have Booker and Beal, Durant's out. They look great. But somehow, when all three of them are on the court, they're somehow not.
They haven't been able to figure it out.
They're not that good of a. Like,
they don't gel. They just don't.
They don't gel, and their defense is really atrocious with those three on the court.
It's free.
So they are my team, that I think is trending down. A player though that I think will take a step back this year, not be as good. This might be a little bit of a bold take, just like yours. I'm going to say Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland.
Wow. Okay.
Like, I know
your Spider Mitchell runs out of his mouth.
I think Spider Mitchell. Like, I had him in fantasy last year, so it was great having. He had a great year. Then he got injured.
Yeah.
Came back from the injury. Wasn't looking great. We'll see how. I mean, he's still looking. He's still looking good. Like, I'm not saying like just like you with Conrad. I'm not expecting him to fall off the face of the cliff. But I think maybe he's only going to average about 20 a game. Okay. I think the efficiency is going to go down. The 3-point efficiency is going to go down. You can see maybe the turnover rate going up a little bit. Like, I know the Cavs have this really good defense. I don't have a lot of faith in that offense. Like, Evan Mobley is not good offensively. Jared Allen, he's not bad in the paint. So, I mean, and I mean, you'll see it depends what you get with Darius Garland on the night and if he's even healthy too.
For sure.
I think if Donovan Mitchell, especially if Darius Garland gets another extended injury, Donovan Mitchell has to run this offense again for a long extended time by himself. I don't think it'll be run as smoothly and as well as last year. Because, I mean, last year they obviously had the craziness of like Max Strus and stuff caught off the bench, being able to hit 5 threes a game off the bench, just absolutely clutch over the team. Well, I still think Donovan Mitchell is going to be a good player. I see him, the points falling, the efficiency and everything falling off for a little bit for him.
Well, Caden, one thing's for sure. It's going to be an electric, exciting NBA season.
Yes, that is true.
And at the end of the day, we really don't know what's going to happen.
That is
We're going to have to
very true.
Going to have to wait and see. We hope our predictions can at least come true, though. And we're excited to watch, as we hope the rest of you at home are excited to watch. Caden, any final thoughts, comments, questions, or concerns?
I just hope Jamal, his knee is healed. I hope he stays healthy and is able to look. Because, I mean, in the playoffs and everything, his efficiency was off. Yeah. I just want to see Jamal's efficiency get back up, back to where we know it can be, especially with him and Jokic on the court together. And a big year out of Porter. Just give me a big year out of Porter. And the Nuggets are banging banner number 2.
Let's make it happen, Caden. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you all next time.